the West funding it and giving al-Qaeda so much money, they've now poured back into Iraq and taken over Fallujah. This is a total destabilization campaign, and it is outrageous. And meanwhile, I'm no fan of what the Russians are doing. I don't romanticize what the Russians are doing. But it is the State Department. It is George Soros. It is John McCain, the same guy going over and meeting with al-Qaeda. They're running around now saying that, you know, you're basically a traitor if you're not for the freedom fighters in Ukraine who are well-known actual neo-Nazis, you know, that do the Heil Hitler salute. We have photos of it. Major ministers doing Heil Hitler salutes, showing blonde-haired, blue-eyed God people firing lightning bolts out of their hands. That's up on Infowars.com in Paul Watson's article, U.S.-backed neo-Nazi party given key roles in Ukrainian government. And it shows McCain meeting with the very neo-Nazi leaders who we have photos of doing the Hitler salute, again, with Emperor Palpatine firing power beams out of their hands. I mean, the Nazis they had red curtains like these folks, but actual power beams? I mean, can you guys pull up Emperor Palpatine firing power beams, please? I mean, let me say this. Politicians probably aren't good if their symbol is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman firing electricity out of her fingers. I mean, that probably shows these are crazed individuals. So there's Emperor Palpatine, I guess the leader of the Ukrainian right, you could call them. And if we go back to my computer, Paul Watson's article, we have the leader, U.S.-backed leader. How do you pronounce that guy's name? Ole Tyashenbach. I can't pronounce these folks' names. I just have him highlight Tiambach. And it says the confirmation that a U.S.-backed neo-Nazi party has been handed key positions within the newly formed Ukrainian government illustrates the fact that the Euromaidan uprising was a contrived coup d'etat and has little to do with freedom and democracy. Back in December, around the same time, the top U.S. diplomat, Victoria Nuland, announced the United States had invested $5 billion to help Ukrainians achieve a new form of government. Senator John McCain, with the party leader, how do you pronounce it? Ole Tyashenbach, shared the stage, I've seen him all over the news, with him at the event during which McCain gave the United States blessing for the opposition revolt. The State Department is financing. And again, folks, what's crazy is they're going to open the borders up, let the EU come in and suck them dry and actually bring in all these foreigners, which will be anti-Ukrainian. But the public who's sick of foreigners will actually then go vote for a Nazi party, even though they will sell them out as well. And you got George Soros, the Nazi collaborator, involved. I mean, this is too rich, folks. The fact that both these leaders have been handed the reins of power following the ouster of the president just weeks ago, Nuland afforded them Washington's seal of approval, clearly reveals the United States' central role in the overthrow of the democratically elected government. He has a history of a banker, makes him the perfect candidate to assume the role of technocrat, selling Ukraine into the IMF debt strategy. However, the Svoboda Party rise to prominence is even more chilling given the organization's clear links to extremist groups and anti-Semitism. And it shows the top diplomat, Victoria Nuland, meeting with him. And here he is, the Nazi leader. And then down here he is giving the Nazi salute with electricity beams firing out. This, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very interesting. Sieg Heil, U.S.-backed leader, Ole, how do you say it again? Tyashenbach? I hope Tyashenbach. Ole Tyashenbach. Man, I got to see more of this party's artwork. I mean, I got to tell you, I got to hand it to them. I've never seen anybody come up with that where they're firing electricity beams. But I guess Palpatine's are blue, white. Theirs are gold power beam. So what does that mean? Maybe he got in a time machine, went to the future? No, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So maybe he's the trillionth grandson of Emperor Palpatine, and this is actually a Sith uprising. But I'm telling you, this goes with the globalists, how they fund Mecha and La Raza, the Hispanic supremacist groups. They'll fund the white supremacist groups. They'll fund Al-Qaeda. They'll fund any radical group they can to take over. And again, I'm not saying Russia's good either. It's just a complete disaster zone with George Soros running around captaining it And then I've got right-wing neocon groups attacking me now because I'm not supporting George Soros. I mean, whatever. We come back, folks. What does John Wayne have to do with freedom? I'll tell you straight ahead. That is such a devastating blow to the First Amendment. I don't even know what to say, and that's out of Reuters. We're going to be covering that in just a moment. But first off, I think this is one of the best covers ever. We found an open source John Wayne photo. John Wayne and a lovely lady. And the cover of the new InfoWars magazine for the month of March, by the way, it's not even on the shopping cart yet. It's going to go up there in the next hour. You can buy it in bulk to give to your friends and family. Only way to get it. We don't even have subscriptions. Anybody who bought a subscription gets it for the next year. We're going right to bulk because that's more effective. At cost, a big color magazine. Its cover's black and white. John Wayne, and it says The War on Men. Doesn't that look good? The good-looking woman with the manly man. I mean, that's what it's all about right there. And that's what the ladies really want on top of it, even though they think they want a trendy or whatever that, acts like a woman. The point is that God bless John Wayne. This whole thing is about the chemicals in the water, the food, how they're targeting men to sterilize us. There's also a bunch of Second Amendment news, but this is a theme-based magazine to give to men and women so they can understand the war on men. And so gotta love it. It is the new magazine, and it's got all the quotes by Douglas Wilson and by Thomas Hughes, Norman Mailer, John Wayne. I won't be wronged, I won't be insulted, and I won't be laid a hand on. I don't do these things to other people, and I require the same from them. Here's another one by Douglas Wilson. We live in a feminist and effeminate culture. Because of this, at best, as a people, we are uneasy with masculinity. And with increasing regularity, whenever it manages to appear somehow, we call for someone to do something about it. And the quotes just go on. Masculinity is not something given to you, but something you gain. And you gain it by winning small battles with honor. That's right. They don't want masculinity because men won't put up with being slaves. Men won't put up with being pushed around. Men like to operate, real men, with other men that are honorable and have proven themselves worthy in good society. They want a bunch of scallywag, backstabbing rats that think being a male, the new masculinity that MTV puts out is a thug. A stupid gangster thug that cheats people and is arrogant to everyone and disregards everyone. That's the opposite of a man. That's a thug. Then women think, I don't want a thug, I want an effeminate lapdog male, so the media pushes that, but then that doesn't satisfy women. Women, what you want is a real man. And, of course, all the studies actually show that. That's what women want, is they want a man. And, sorry, trendies, if you don't like it, but that's why there's a war on masculinity, and this issue of the magazine exposed it. Expose it, can't even talk now. U.S. Postal Service giant ammo purchase, new update on that is in the article. DHS gun owners are seen as a bio threat. Bloomberg plans to disarm Americans. An integrated investigative report about his latest plans leaked on that. We've got the updates on the Duck Dynasty controversy. Many people are renouncing their citizenship. That's expanding. We have an updated report on that. Will no one challenge Obama's dictatorship? School shooting expert threatened. We got an update on that, on how the retired state police officer has really found the evidence that it was staged. Ron Paul launches clemency petition, BPA, and here's the articles on men. BPA lowering sperm counts. We tie the articles in together. We continue with GMOs hinder animal reproduction in animals as well as humans. Processed food lowers IQ in children. And then we just go through, kill more babies to save the earth. And we've got 297 scientists sign a statement saying GMOs are not safe. Study finds BPA changes your brain. And then we've got the war on men that Watson wrote last week, expanded, that Drudge and others carried, 10 ways masculinity is under attack. And again, the reason we have this is there's so much digital media now, and we've dominated digital media, but a lot of people disregard digital media now to a great extent. But you give them a big glossy color magazine that you can get for like $1 a piece in bulk. You give these to people, give them to folks at work and stuff, you're going to wake some people up. And it's got ads for the radio show. It's got Scientific American, kill more babies to save the earth. I mean, it's just got so many hardcore articles in it. Great photography, great graphics. InfoWarsStore.com. to get the March issue with John Wayne, the terrorist, on the cover, the male terrorist.